Welcome back to Glenn's Comic Corner, Classic, Non-Classics. This is episode number 1797 and Doubleshot number 1691. I have one trade for Spider-Man, of course, for the Winter Soldier. First up it is Falcon Winter Soldier. Cut off the head. Yes, the miniseries, the only reason why this one exists, the Disney Plus show. Yeah, and at one point in the book, they actually put on their Captain America costumes again. Yep. For Bucky at the time this came out, which, by the way, this came out, I think it was just last year, this came out. Yeah, last year. So at the time this book came out, this is the first time Bucky's worn that costume in 10 years. For Falcon, it's not actually been that very long. For him, I think it's been about 4 years, though recently he put back the costume on again. For reasons. It's just it's an interesting spy story for the two of them. And not much else to talk about here. Basically, I'll take on a fan of Captain America. I think it's up with Hydra. Interesting stuff here, but nothing right home when it comes to this miniseries. It's written by a good writer. The writer, of course, Derek Landy, does a good story here, but it's not that memorable. I give this book a 8.5 out of 10. I love the artwork here. The artwork here is really good. It is done by Federico Benetti. Yes. And with that also, Winter Soldier is done when it comes to solo books for him. Yeah, everything is done. Yeah, he is officially all done. Everything with his name on it, all done. Nothing up for him. Alright, next up it is Amazing Spider-Man Beyond, Volume 3. Collecting Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5, issues 86, 88, 88.BEY, and Mary Jane Black Cat Beyond. Now, Jed MacKay does do the Black Cat one. Now, Zeb Wells does two of the issues, and he does issues 86, 88. 87 is also by Jed MacKay. The 88.BEY, that's done by Jeffrey Thorne. 88.BEY is an appearance by the Stingers. Basically, it's the most recent appearance for, of all people, the Prowler, who would take up the identity of the Hornet, and he recruits Dust and Ricochet to the Beyond Corporation. Mary Jane Black Cat, just simply Mary Jane Black Cat wearing the costume, and, well, go on adventures together. Yeah, I thought that was really fun. Yep. Now, in case of what you see in the cover here, that's the Goblin Queen. Of course, it is pointed out in here. Now, in this book, basically, we have this happening here, where you have Cap holding up Spider-Man's costume, and he can't be Spider-Man because he just got out of a coma. He does not want to be Spider-Man again. So he has to train. Like he has to retrain him in order to become Spider-Man again. Okay. Yeah, that's the purpose of it, basically. And apparently, the decision to take away the costume was not Peter's or Cap's. It was Mary Jane because she was worried about him. Oh, and by the way, Mary Jane meets with a woman who's clearly based upon her, Jeannie, of course. Jeannie Thorne, who has Ben Reilly's girlfriend. Yep. From the Spider-Man Last Year's miniseries. Yep. So, aside from that happening, Dr. Afterkoff basically brings up the events of Clone Conspiracy. Yes, she brings this up. And Ben Reilly does not remember it. And you're thinking, why does he remember something that happened a few years prior to him? I mean, readers know about it. The reason why is because the Beyond Corporation took away his memories. Also, they give a backstory on the guy who founded this version of Beyond Corporation. Well, apparently he was living in a mansion near Braxton, Oklahoma. And we're thinking, Braxton, Oklahoma. That name sounds very familiar. Isn't that a place from Thor? Yes. As a matter of fact, it was the base operations for Thor throughout the JMS run and the Karen Gillian run for Thor. And it stopped being by the time Jason took over the book, though it did briefly pop up a few times in the book. Also, it's explained that apparently during the fight between Thor and Sentry during events of Siege, yes, the event that happened 12 years ago, yes, seriously, which I think by the time this came out, it had been 12 years. It's probably like him, it was like probably a few years ago. Where During the Century of Thor fighting, apparently they wrecked his house, and of course people didn't pay attention to that. In fact, the guy had freaking dead bodies on his property. Oh no! More attention to the Thor fighting Century. Which, by the way, gets you curious though. What issue of Siege that happened? That happened in issue 4. Yes, seriously. Something happened during the finale for Siege was it's kind of a retcon. Like, okay. And of course, Castle and Beyonce with the whole thing with people have no face with the hole in it. They keep that there, which I thought was really interesting to that. And of course, Dr. Aftershock basically questions why Beyond Corporations take away Ben Reilly's memories. And he points to, like, she's a person. Like, no, you're not. You're a clone. Yes, bringing the fact that this version that actor Ashley Kafka is a clone. Yeah, this was revealed from the pages of The Raft, and it was kept a secret from the public by Norman Osborn and Wilson Fisk. These two knew about it. Yeah, a woman they probably kind of by reputation. Now, in case you're curious, though, prior to that miniseries, did Norman Osborn or Will Elizabeth ever had an on-screen encounter with Dr. Ashley Kafka? The answer is no. And then for some strange reason, apparently because Dr. Ashley Kafka dared to question the woman Maxine, who's in charge of Beyond Corporation, over what she's doing to Ben Reilly, she is subjugated to turn to basically this, the new Goblin Queen. Yeah, make a new villain for no apparent reason just because she dared question to do with Ben Reilly. By the way, Peter barely plays part of the story here. We're progressing along here, and by the way, I did purchase yesterday the final trade to collect this storyline, and oh boy, you're gonna be hearing some rants when it comes to that finale for that storyline. This is interesting what it is. I love the artwork here. Which, by the way, the artwork for 86, 88 is by Michael Downing. For 87, which this is the Jed McKay issue, Carlos Gomez, the Mary Jane Black Cat Beyond, that's by C.F. Villa. 88.BEY is by Jim Zoe and Jan Bazia. Now, Mary Jane Black Cat Beyond, this was the last time that we actually had Black Cat comic published. Because after this, basically, who knows what the plans are when it comes to Black Cat. Because, in my opinion, ending her book was a mistake. Yes, I love the Black Cat book. I don't love the trades for it. It's a good series. Why end it? I don't know. I do at least admit, though, beyond something over Falcon Winter Soldier. More memorable stuff happened in this book. Yep. I know Beyond is not very tasting because it's kind of a good thing that they decided to hit the restart button as soon as the storyline wrapped up because this storyline was not working for a lot of people, and they probably did this storyline did hurt probably Marvel financially, like for the series. It did hurt it. So they probably had no choice but to restart it and do some bullcrap start. Yeah, let's just basically have the first issue of the relaunch to basically tick people off. I will kind of talk about later. I want my chance to get more into that, okay? But that's going to be a particular view. And that's going to be One Piece, okay? Next video. Bye.